Thank you for joining us for a walk at Sanborn County Park, a park on the eastern slopes of the Santa Cruz Mountains with more than 3,400 acres and home to a redwood forest as well as coastal live oak, Pacific madrone, big leaf maple, and tanbark oak. This park is ideal for summer months because of all the shade from these trees and has picnic areas, a self-guided nature trail, restrooms, and is home to Silicon Valley Shakespeare during the summer months. Today, we're going to start at the main entrance to the park, which is off of Sanborn Road, which is also off of Big Basin Road or Highway 9. We're going to do a 5-mile shady loop walk that is uphill for the first half of the walk and downhill for the last half. So we'll follow the trails on this map. We're going to be taking a fraction of a mile walk on the San Andreas Trail until it intersects with the Peterson Trail. We're going to take the Peterson Trail for about 1.5 miles till it intersects with the Sanborn Trail. Going to keep going uphill until we reach Todd Creek Redwoods, which is where we'll stop and turn around and continue on our loop. So we'll head back down, and once we intersect with the San Andreas Trail, we're going to take that all the way back to the start. Start out on the San Andreas Trail that leads to all the other trails in the park. After we pass the Silicon Valley Shakespeare stage, we walk over a bridge that has a creek running below it. At the first intersection, to the right is a 1-mile self-guided nature trail that has markers along the way highlighting the flora and fauna that can be found in the park. We are keeping straight and going uphill. Right away we see a redwood grove. There are 2 types of California redwoods, the giant sequoia and coast redwoods. These are coast redwoods, the tallest trees in the world. In the summer, the coast redwoods especially appreciate the fog that comes in from the Pacific Ocean. They grow to 380 feet or more and can live to more than 2,000 years. Redwoods have been here for about 240 million years, and in California for at least 20 million years. Now we are connecting to the Peterson Trail. Many different types of birds make their home at Sanborn County Park. This is a male stellar jay. They are bold, noisy, and intelligent songbirds. Stellar jays are very territorial and will gang up on other birds, chase, dive bomb, and screech them away. At this point, we are going to bear right to continue uphill. The Peterson Trail connects to the Sanborn Trail, a narrower trail that keeps taking us uphill and eventually leads to Skyline Boulevard. This is a wild pea that is native to the West Coast and is found in California forests. They have beautiful pink flowers. Unfortunately, a number of trees have fallen in this park after the winter rains. Look carefully. There is a California sister butterfly that has a relatively large orange patch on its forewing. Its larvae like to eat coast live oak that is plentiful in this park. Here is miner's lettuce that got its name from miners during the California gold rush who ate it to prevent scurvy. The shade from the forest and moisture from the Pacific Ocean make a good habitat for many types of fern, including coastal wood. Redwoods have shallow roots, but they extend up to 100 feet from the trunk. They thrive in thick groves where roots intertwine to give them the strength to fight strong winds and floods. As we just passed, in winters, when we get a lot of rain, some trees that do not have extended families will topple across the trails. On this part of the path, we walk up stairs that are made from tree roots. On the left side of the trail, we see some sandstone boulders that have interesting patterns of holes called tuffoni. Tuffoni forms when precipitation soaks into the porous sandstone, dissolving the mineral cement. As the rock dries out, capillary action brings moisture and dissolved minerals to the rock's surface. As the water evaporates, the minerals precipitate. The wind and weather sculpt away the softer rock and form the patterns of holes. An unlikely spotting of a wildflower during the summer months. This red larkspur is a flowering plant also known as a canyon delphinium. Native to California, its flower attracts hummingbirds. Interestingly, the root of the plant was used as a medicinal narcotic by the Mendocino Native Americans. We are entering Todd Creek Redwoods Grove that's only about a quarter-mile long, and the trees only grow in a very narrow strip along Todd Creek, which flows through the park. There are some huge stumps next to the trail, and a few large old-growth trees still remain. At 2,700 feet, this is an unusually high elevation for redwoods to grow. Many species, such as worms, salamanders, and huckleberry, live their entire lives in the coast redwood canopy. Look at the texture of this fire-scarred redwood tree. Coast redwoods are generally resistant to fire because their bark and heartwood contain a high percentage of a chemical called tannin that's a natural flame retardant. Tannin also protects redwoods against disease, fungi, and insects. Around the corner of this trail is a blackberry patch which provides food for birds and mammals. For us humans, blackberries are healthy because they contain high levels of antioxidants that act as a natural anti-inflammatory. As you can see here, dark-eyed juncos forage mostly while hopping and running on the ground. They almost always nest on the ground well hidden under overhanging grass, under a log, rock, or exposed roots, or in a shallow hole. Their summer diet consists of 50% insects like caterpillars, beetles, grasshoppers, true bugs, and spiders, and the rest on seeds of weeds and grasses. Taking the San Andreas Trail on your return is a little longer, but less steep. We have only about 0.7 miles back to the original trailhead. This is the only part of the loop that is open to the sun. We can see vineyards in the distance. Here is some Timothy grass or meadows cattail. Its seeds can be a good food source if you are a bird or eat like a bird. We are coming to an intersection. I am surprised to see on the right a bunch of fallen tree branches blocking the trail. As we approach the final intersection that brings us back, on the right is where we went on our steep uphill at the beginning of the hike, and on the left back to the main parking lot. I want to thank you for joining us on Bay Area Older Adults Exploration of Sanborn County Park.